Wars leave invisible scars that may never heal. The battlefront doesn't end when the fighting stops. Here's the emotional legacy that soldiers carry for the rest of their lives. Every day we hear about the bravery, sacrifice, and heroism of soldiers. But rarely do we talk about the deep psychological wounds they carry with them when they return home. When the guns fall silent, it doesn't mean the war is over. For many soldiers, it's just the beginning of a lifelong battle with their own minds. Post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, is perhaps the most well-known psychological condition associated with war. It's a silent war that rages inside the minds of soldiers, long after they've left the battlefield. Imagine being exposed to constant violence, death, and destruction. The sights, sounds, and smells of combat don't just fade away. For many, they're a haunting presence, playing on repeat in their minds, making it nearly impossible to feel safe or at peace again. Veterans of the Vietnam War, for instance, have been some of the most vocal about their struggles with PTSD. Many returned home to a society that didn't understand what they'd been through. And worse, they were often met with anger and resentment. This only intensified the trauma they'd already endured. For these soldiers, war didn't just end when they left Vietnam. It stayed with them for decades. Survivor's guilt is another devastating psychological impact of war. Imagine being surrounded by your comrades, all of you fighting for survival. But then, something happens. Perhaps an ambush, an explosion, or a sudden attack. And you make it out alive while others don't. The guilt of surviving when others didn't can consume a soldier, causing deep feelings of shame and confusion. It's a heavy burden that can make it impossible to move forward in life. Modern-day soldiers returning from wars in Afghanistan and Iraq have faced these same mental battles. While the technology has changed, drones, high-tech weapons, and new strategies, the emotional toll remains just as intense. Soldiers today still experience trauma in the form of IEDs, ambushes, and long deployments in hostile territories. But unlike in previous wars, there's a greater awareness of PTSD and survivor's guilt today. Even so, the psychological wounds can be just as devastating. As we approach the future, it's crucial that we continue to shed light on the psychological toll of war. We need to acknowledge the pain that soldiers experience,